What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's up, people? It's me. I'm L27. You know who I am?
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose, honey.
He's about the business of dipping spoons into sugar bowls. Anyway, real girls do real things. So as to make it easier for insertion, maybe?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? It's me, L27, and I am back for yet another review. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be our review for Belle Collective. It is season 2. It is episode 3. It is entitled Love, Marriage, and No Baby Carriage. Listen. Listen, hey, Aretha. I'm not. Listen. Shout out to my girl, Erica De Niro TV. I probably need to go watch her review after this, because I know she probably had a lot to say about this, because there was a lot of women's issues in this that even made me be like, really? And I know there were probably parts of this episode that made Erica De Niro TV lose her goddamn mind. Shouts out to Erica if she watches this. I love her. Love her channel, but girl, this episode had a lot going on, and I was like, a lot of y'all need to go sit down with some people. Just go sit down on somebody's couch, please, because there's a lot of issues surrounding just what it means to be a woman that need to be addressed. We start off, Letitia and Marie is still arguing in this goddamn men's room. There's a meeting in the men's room, but she's not a lesbian. Let her tell it. Anyway, um, Letitia goes out and convinces Latrice to come in and try to have a conversation with Marie to see if they can work things out. Bad idea. Marie ain't trying to hear nothing. Ain't trying to listen to nothing Latrice got to say. Ain't trying to hear it. She is, I mean, baby, Marie went and conjured up from the deepest depths of her cojones and conjured up all the testosterone she had and mustered up one more good growl and low baritone. You know, child, she yelled like she, that junk was low like a every man wants a woman. I mean, that thing was low. Her voice got lower than mine, which may explains why she went to the men's room first. I'm just saying. So then she yelling, Letitia yelling, Marie storm out, Latrice looking like, girl, I told you I didn't want to talk to her anyway. Letitia start crying with producers and everything and all it. Girl, I was looking like, you done? Because you knew what was going to happen when you invited her. Girl. Anyway, Aikisha left because she was like, girl, this is some tomfoolery. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about Aikisha. She's bougie, she's elitist, all that, but she wasn't wrong. Because, baby, I would have left too. Baby, I ain't got time to be sitting here wasting my time. First of all, y'all had shit all over my damn plate, a dirty ass plate. Then I got to sit here and listen to people argue and shit in the goddamn bathroom. I don't have no time for this foolishness and fuck shit. I would have left too. Letitia finally comes back into the brunch and they tell her Aikisha left and she says, I don't like her anyway. And when I see her, I'm going to sit her down and tell her I don't like her energy. Girl, I can't. Aikisha, Letitia, I can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Whatever. We then see Latrice and Cliff meet up with Soguchi and JJ. They go out ATV riding on the 300-acre estates that belongs to Latrice and Cliff. Now, if y'all don't do nothing else on this show, Carlos King and your band of merry men down there to the own, y'all better do something with JJ here. What we're not going to do is have y'all force us to sit here and look at that young man's hairdo. Girl, what was that? Oh, dear Lord. What the fuck was that in his head? Girl. And everything that is holy. Please, God of mercy, God of love. Somebody go do something with this. Just take some hedge clippers or clippers and stuff. Cut all of it off. Just cut it all off and start all over. Because that perm he had in, Them little plaits he had. I can't. A bitch just can't. And his wife just so willingly and happily walked around in public with him looking like that. Girl, girl, you need to get your man hair in order. Girl, that was a mess. I don't know what that was. So they ride around slanging mud at each other on the ATVs and shit like that. And after they ride, they all go and sit down and have a bite to eat and drink, you know, some hot chocolate just to sit down and have a good time. Um, I will say this about Latrice and Cliff. They do look like they probably make really good hosts when you go over their house. You know, they do look like they got a real nice, you know, compound or estate or whatever. You know, if you got 300 acres, baby, that's a whole compound. That's a lot of acres. So I'm sure they have a lot of gatherings and get-togethers. I'm sure they have a good time. But it did look like they had a good time. So Latrice then says to So Gucci, I wish that wasn't your first impression of the brunch wasn't that bad. Hold that thought for the next scene. And then they start discussing this baby issues that come up again, and because they went on and on and on about the debacle that was the brunch, and the men started getting involved. But I see, to me, I don't feel like Cliff and JJ should have got involved. They were not there. They've never been there. It doesn't even involve the men. It's a women's empowerment lunch, brunch or whatever. Stay out of it. Y'all commentary is not needed. If your wife talk about it, let her talk and keep it the fuck moving. Oh, that's what happened. All right, baby. Well, let me know if you going next time. You know, just hey, stay out of the mess, and I'll see you when you get home, and leave it at that. We don't need all your commentary. Tamra then meets up with Aikisha. They discuss the brunch as well, and Tamra once again echoes, "I wish your first impression of the brunch wasn't as bad." Well, bitch, our first impression of the goddamn women's empowerment brunch was bad as fuck. I've never seen any of these brunches. We've never witnessed a single brunch that's going well. Now that could be because they don't film them all, or conveniently the only ones that make it to editing is the bad ones. But the very first one we saw was a fucking mess. When goddamn Marie came there and fuck that first one. The very first brunch we ever saw is the one Marie fucked up when she wore that raggedy ass weave. Talking about Latrice sold her bad hair. And now yet again a fucked up ass brunch. I don't know why Letitia keep inviting this whore to our brunches. That's a mess. But don't sit up here. Oh, I'm sorry that had to be your first impression. All our first impressions of the goddamn brunch was a goddamn mess. But whatever. I feel like my camera's not right. Let me fix that. Is that better? I don't know. I'm talking to y'all like y'all talking about whatever. But the brunch has been a whole debacle since its first inception on this show. If they never showed us another brunch again, it would be too soon. They're debacles. And I really think that production at this point just has the brunch to stir up the mess, because they know the brunch is a place where everybody can be there, and that means that mess and fuckery will ensue. So that's why they have the brunches. Because if y'all telling me these brunches are for any amounts of women empowerment, I won't believe y'all. Akeisha talked about her troubles with being able to conceive and have a child, and the issues she's had with that. And I noticed that with the things that Akeisha was saying to Tambra, and even the conversation that Latrice was having after they went riding on the ATVs about her having a child, and in her confessionals, these women, just in my estimation, and I'm not a woman, I do not have XX chromosomes. I admit I have XY chromosomes. But just from the outside looking in, these women seem to believe that their self worth and value as a wife and as a woman is constrained to their ability to produce a child for their husbands. As if the whole um, validity of them as a wife is contingent on this ability to bear a child for that husband. And I just think that is such an awful way of thinking and living. Like if that is how you feel and how you think, that to me is not a good strong way of seeing yourself. Like, you diminish your own self-worth. I'm not going to go as far as to say that means that your marriage is built on shaky ground. I'm not going to go that far, but what I will say is um, what they have allowed themselves to be subjected to in order to prove their own self worth is pretty horrible. The fact that they diminish who they are, just being who they are, and as an individual, just to that one act, I just, y'all see my phone keep going off, right? Just a mess. But y'all see that it's that's not. I just would. I wonder if the shoe were on the other foot, if the men would feel the same way. Like, I just don't feel like in a marriage you should feel like, well, if I can't do this one thing, then that means that my husband or my wife will leave me. And if the whole of your marriage is boiled down to just one act or one thing that you can do, then what did you have to begin with? I just feel really bad. And as I listen to them talk, I feel so horrible for them because that's a horrible place to be in. That's a horrible thing to have to sit there and admit. I don't. I wish better for them. Anyway, it's the day of Jerez's baby mama funeral. This whole scene looks staged to me. Marie is going on and on about her lupus, and I don't want to diminish the, lupus, what she has, what she endures, and the things that she goes through. They were showing pictures and stuff. I don't want to diminish any of that. But what we saw on camera with her laid on that couch, baby, that was staged. I ain't by none of that. You, oh, I'm in so much pain, baby. You had a full beat, okay? And when people, and I know people who have lupus, and I know when they have real flare ups, baby, you ain't got the energy, time, or anything to be talking about doing a full beat. Rather, if you're having that big of a lupus flare up, that's the day you're gonna tell production, hey, baby, I can't film today. Or you're gonna get your son or somebody at the house when the production calls, say, listen, my mom is having a flare up. She going through a lot right now. She doesn't have the physical strength and energy. Because you started off by telling us, I can barely walk. I need a walker. I'm in so much pain. Dot 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 dot. But you over here managed to be able to put on a full beat, have a whole wig over there, having a full conversation and everything with Essie. Because Essie came over to see about her boo, and to play along with this staged event that they had. Um, Marie says she's gonna buy her ex-husband a Rolex to try and entice him to come back and be with her again. Baby, unless that Rolex is attached to a man with a dick and balls and a booty hole, he don't want it. I'm just saying. Baby, he ain't coming back. Let that go, boo boo. Go ahead and live your best life. Live in your truth with Essie, okay? Live your best life. Your woman done been at every turn to take care and see about you, and you still over here talking about this raggedy ass man. Just a mess. By the time we got to the end of this, I thought they was gonna damn near make out. You know, oh I love you. Oh I love you too. Oh my God, you're my best friend. You're my soulmate. You're my everything. The sun rises and the moon sets because of you and the love that I have for you, girl. Girl, trust them. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got this type of time for this. I ain't got this type of time. Latrice goes to see her mom to talk about having a child with Cliff. And let me just say, I can already see. I'm already done and tired with the whole having a baby storyline. I don't have that much more to give. I can't do too much more. Of the baby, baby, baby. I need to have a baby. I don't have too much more. Her mom says Cliff is reminds her of her daddy, which further, drives home what we've been saying, that Latrice has severe daddy issues. But she says that Cliff is trying to force her to have a child, to force her to stay home and kind of trap her in the house um, with this baby. And she tells Latrice she don't think it's gonna work out. And I didn't feel one way or another about that, but I do feel like she gave Latrice some bad advice because her whole thing was, the bad advice I think she gave Latrice is, well, you need to think about yourself and do what's gonna work for you and only you. Don't think about nobody else. Just you got to think about you first. And I was like, that's kind of not how marriage works. Like, marriage is not built on, oh, I'm only gonna think about myself, and if it don't work for me, fuck it, we ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. I don't care. A marriage is two people that have come together, and sometimes you have to compromise, and sometimes you have to say, yeah, I can't think about myself first. I do have to consider my spouse, because that's the whole, you know, institution of marriage. Bad advice. Bad. That was bad advice. That's just a mess. I mean, it didn't go unnoticed that the mom is also single and don't seem to be married to nobody. Anyway, Letitia and Aikisha meet up, and they go out to have something to eat, and talk about the brunch. I was with Aikisha the whole time. I was like, listen, boo. Letitia is mad because she's getting called out because all of this shit she does and all of this shit she has is subpar. It's not at a. She tries to make it like this shit is on a grand and grandiose level. It's not, boo boo. The shit is half ass. The shit is subpar. Maybe for the Jackson, Mississippi, caliber of people, it works and they think that shit is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But on my side of the world, where I grew up in a real big city, that shit that you be doing and throwing, people will look at you just like Aikisha did. Like, girl, what is this mess? So I was with Aikisha on that. Girl, save it, honey. All of the brunches have been a goddamn mess. A goddamn mess. And if anything, Letitia, you need all the help you can get from Aikisha. If she can help you, baby, you need all the help you can get with all of your events because they all been a mess. Your events are a mess. Your marriage is a mess. Child, you finally got your look together. I'm glad you finally got that together, honey. Because your looks was a mess last season too. But girl, hopefully, slowly but surely, we get your life in order because everything seems to be a mess for you. Anyway, they briefly discussed Tamara and Damon because we found out that Aikisha went to school with Tambra and Damon, and Letitia wanted to bring it up because she wanted to let Aikisha know that she knew that Damon was dating her friend and not just Tambra. And Aikisha was like, "Well, baby, I don't have nothing to do with that. That ain't none of my business, girl. I'm staying out of it. Mm-mm. Moving on." And basically, they agreed to work things out and be able, damn it, stupid phone, and being able to work together to on the Fair Street project to make sure that's gets goes off without hit, and it goes off from there. Listen, it was a lot for me to get through this episode. Like I fell asleep during part of it, and then woke back up, and then fell asleep again, and then woke back up. Y'all got to do better. Like as much as I want this to interest me, it's not, and I need them to give me a little more. I'm just saying, if I'm gonna make it through the whole season. That's all I got for y'all. It went off from there. Y'all like, share, subscribe, all that good shit. Hit the notification bell and press all. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. Y'all out.